So I'm here today at Downtown Dodgeball, still talking to some of my friends who play dodgeball and have LGBTQIA community affiliations. It's something that I've wanted to do since I started the show because I think as many different stories as we can tell about mental health and about being your true self and feeling good about it, that's the best we can offer people. And if anything in this story inspires you, I hope you pick up a dodgeball and start playing. My name is Leanne Simpson. I'm wearing the same clothes as the other video, and this is Spilt Milk.
My name is Bing. I identify as non-binary, so my preferred pronoun is they. It actually took me a few years before I could actually accept that about myself. Like when I was growing up, I was really tomboyish and like, instead of like playing the typical typical things they expect females to play, like I was rolling in the mud with my brothers. Like I was playing sports, I was a tomboy. Mm-hmm. And like even then, even when I was little, like I absolutely detested any dress my mom gave me. I was like, Mom, don't give me a dress. I hate them. Growing up, I actually didn't even know anything about LGBTQIAC. It's so I can't say it all. I'm sorry. But like I didn't know anything about, like I didn't know what gay was, I didn't know what lesbian was, I didn't know what trans was, I didn't know what intersex meant. I didn't know any of these terms. So at first I started off small. First it was like those days where I was okay with being addressed as she, and then there's days where I was okay with being dressed as he, and then there was days where I was okay with being dressed as none of them. Or like as they. My friends were very accommodating. They asked me, how do you feel today? And I would always tell them how I felt. And then gradually started becoming more and more, I would start saying I feel more comfortable with they.
Did you run into mental health difficulties when you were dealing with all of this? I mean, it must have been super hard.
I did, quite a lot actually. I faced a lot of depression and I faced a lot of self-harm issues. It took me a long time before I could actually open up about anything. And so sports was one of the few ways that I could actually start because I got the physical sense at least. And then the more people I met, so I also play football and softball and now dodgeball. Dodgeball's actually got to be one of my favorite sports now. It's so much fun.
It's amazing.
I love it. You can really, I release everything. And I mean, obviously I don't hurt anybody, but it helps. And by the end of it, I feel so, I guess you could say so much more cleansed. It's so much more clean in the sense of instead of having all these negative thoughts going through my head. And then I started making friends with people and making being part of this new community and stuff. And ever since then, I've been, it's been so much more easier to be myself around them. So the step to when I started getting, talking to, therapists and stuff is, through my guidance counselor when I was grade 9. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting going through high school without any of this help. So she called me in class one day because what she does is she just meets her new students under her, so they go by names, that stuff, right? And so, and then I talked to her, and then when I opened up about everything, it just kind of came rushing out, and got introduced to this group called YAHA, which is called Youth Against Anti-Homophobia Awareness, I think, something like that. And then so it was actually from YAHA to the same place is when I got my first therapist. And so through this therapy, so I would tell her about what I'm going through, and so I would have a session once every couple weeks, and then I would talk with her about things. But I always felt like nothing was being done, and part of that was my own fault because part of me didn't want to be, didn't want this help. Part of me felt I needed to go continue this suffering in a sense for myself. I don't know why, at least not yet. Still figuring it out. But so it just felt like all I was doing was just talking and talking and talking. And I felt better because I was talking, but every time they gave me something to help me out, I just didn't do it. I would try, I really would. I wanted it to work, but it just couldn't. I just couldn't do it.
Do you have any advice for people who are thinking of getting help and talking to someone?
I guess what I would say is I know if you've had past experiences and they haven't been the greatest, that just means you just haven't found the right person to talk to. But just don't give up. There's always going to be someone that'll be there to support you, will be there to listen to you. like there'll always be someone, you know, so not to like give up hope, because a lot of times that's the problem. People give up hope on finding that kind of support.
The system is hard. It makes you work for it, but it's worth it.
It does. But in the end, it is worth it. And at the end of the day, like, as long as you can be, like, as long as you're yourself and you can be happy with yourself, then, you know, who gives a fuck about everybody else?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Bing.
I'm very bad at swearing. I'm sorry.
It's perfect. We're keeping it. Okay.